Hey guys, this is Peter Erickson here from TruthLmedia.elf. Okay, you can find me if you want to donate to my PayPal. I'm making this podcast right now because it's real important that you guys know what's going on. It's regarding the solar flares we're going to witness within the next 10 years. Now, what I've done here is I've comprised a study. I'm going to link all my resources below. But what I've done is I've taken the Gregorian calendar and I've laid it side by side with ancient Sumerian texts. These are like 3,000-year-old texts. The media won't talk about this, guys. The media won't talk about this. That's why I'm putting my neck on the line and I'm doing this podcast for you guys. Now, anyone who knows me or follows my work knows that the past 5 years I've dedicated my entire life to this. Okay? I became aware of this roughly 5 years ago. My wife actually left me. She left me for her tennis instructor. He's 26 years old. I don't know why she went off with him when I got all this info I was gathering. She took my 10-year-old son and my 11-year-old daughter with her. But this work is so important that I was on a 6-figure contract, but I sacrificed all that so I could work on this full time. Okay, I moved back in with my mother. I'm 52 years young now. 52 years. I'll be 53 in April, and I really need to get this info out to you guys. I tried doing a demonstration to get my voice heard outside City Hall. The sheriffs came along, they took me away. It was a total psyop, guys, a total psyop. They locked me in the cells. I was there overnight, and whilst I was in there, I actually tried to. Some of the officers were really cool with me, but I know they're just doing their job. But it was a total psyop. I'd gone to City Hall. I'd taken a banner and a megaphone, and I tried to expose what's going on here. Now, when I was in the sheriff's office, they sent in a psychiatrist to see me. Now, the psychiatrist, he was clearly a government operative. You could just see it in his eyes, okay? He claims that I'm doing all this because my life is shit, okay? Because I live in my mother's house and I'm in my 50s and my wife left me. I was on a 6-figure contract as an investment banker and that's all gone. But he claims that I'm now using this as a distraction to make myself feel superior. Okay, it's a typical, that old chestnut that they throw out that you're trying to look for some sort of escapism because your life's so crappy. But that's not true. I've linked in the resources below. I even wrote to NASA. I wrote to NASA explaining what these solar flares are going to do. Because once every 2,000 years, what happens is Mars and Jupiter are directly in line with the Earth's axis, which is 6.2 degrees. Now, I'm going to link all my resources. Now, the media ignores all this, but if you go back to 1972, Washington Post, okay, I'm going to link this article. I'm going to link this article down below, but you got to check this out, guys, because people don't want to know this. I even emailed InfoWars. I emailed InfoWars with all of my detail, and even those guys don't want to know. Alex Jones, he's clearly a paid psyop at this point. That's for sure. Okay, they just sent me back some Survival Shield and asked me to keep listening to InfoWars, but I won't listen to InfoWars no more. I wrote to Joe Rogan, and if Joe Rogan wants to get back in touch with me, I know he had Elon Musk on the other day, and that's fine, man. But this information's way, way bigger than all of that. And anyway, I digress a lot. So we'll get back to the video in just a second, folks. But if you could donate to my PayPal, it means I can keep doing this work for you guys. I can keep exposing the truth for what it is. Because these solar flares are going to be catastrophic, like nothing the world has ever seen. But if we go back to the Gregorian calendar, and I'm going to link this in, I'm going to put this in the link below. If you guys could just check this out, tell me what you think, because this is proof. This is categorically evidence that I believe this is what happened to Atlantis. Okay, some of you may have heard of Atlantis. It was where humanity originally began. Now, if we go back to the Great Flood in the Bible, I believe this was 3,000 years ago. If you compare it to ancient Sumerian texts, and if we look at this in great detail, we can clearly see what's coming here, folks. I've stockpiled toilet paper for this event. I suggest all you guys do the same. Um, but we're going to go into right now, we're going to go into history, ancient history. We'll go back to Nicaragua, and you'll find that there's some giant skeletons there, and the media don't want to know about this. Okay? The media, they will shut you down. I mean, I got my phones tapped and everything. But they won't stop me. They won't stop me doing my work. Okay, they won't stop me exposing the truth. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep doing this for you guys. I haven't seen my son in like 5 years, but one day he's gonna look back and think, well, my dad was doing something important. Okay, he was doing something real important. And if we look at the four horsemen of the apocalypse, we can clearly see that we've seen three of them already: war, pestilence. I forget the other one, but you get the point, guys. And we're gonna see the fifth one here coming up soon, fourth one I mean, which is death, and that's going to be caused by great tidal waves, tsunamis, the likes of which have never been seen before, and it all corresponds to this date. My prediction here, which I think is quite accurate, is 2027. We're going to see massive hailstone, but tsunamis is going to be the big one. London's going to get wiped out. I'm telling you, folks, Florida won't be there anymore. Okay? And what we're going to talk about in the next series of what I'm going to do, I mean, if you guys could just email this podcast to everyone everyone if you could email all this information that I'm giving you out. Some guys, if you send this information out to your family and folks they're going to think that you're crazy. But, what do they know? Because they don't want to hear this stuff. They just want to watch the football and drink beer, man. But we got to talk about this. For those of you who listen to my podcast, you know that the time is now. We got to expose this information. We got to put it out there for the public to see. I mean, just hang on to these seats, folks, because this is the most important podcast I have ever done. Okay, this is the most important thing I've ever done in my entire life. And you guys listening to this, I salute you. I salute you for staying with me and following my work, because we're going to really get into the nitty gritty here today. That's what we're going to do. And over the next few weeks, we're going to see some things, okay? So this is for anyone who's enlightened, anyone who's following it, anybody who's on the starship to the truth of the matter of what's going on the planet. We're going to really get into it. I've linked all the sources below, and if you guys could then put that on your entire mailing list and send it to everyone you know. They're real short, these videos. They're only like 4.5 hours long. And what's 4.5 hours for the truth? Okay, so people can listen to this. You need to really hear this. These guys who won't listen, they need a real kick in the pants, and that's what we got to do. We got to spread this information out there. So stay with me, subscribe to my channel, and send me PayPal info, and just hang tight, folks, because it's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming. Okay.